The Board of Peace, selective engagement. So, why India resists international oversight in Kashmir, lessons from the Gaza Strip, the global stage settler. In today's fractured world, peace is no longer just a moral inspiration, it is a strategic instrument. From observer missions to humanitarian monitoring bodies, the international system claims to offer neutral mechanism to calm conflicts. Yet, a critical question defines modern geopolitics. Why does international peace intervene in some regions while other remains sealed behind the walls of sovereignty? Today, on Global Affairs Tonight, we examine the politics behind peace itself. From Gaza global scrutiny to Kashmir's diplomatic insolution, a pattern of selective engagements is reshaping how the world manages conflicts. The architecture of global peace. The post World War international order creates institutions designed to prevent escalation. Bodies linked to the United Nations system deployed, ceasefire monitor, mediation panels, humanitarian observers, and special envoys. In theory, these mechanisms act as a neutral reference. In reality, they operate only where state permits them. Peace reinforcements without consent is rare, and this is where power politics enters the equation. Because peace is not just about stopping violence, it is about how and who controls the narrative of legitimacy. India's strategic calculus. India's doctrine on Kashmir is rooted on one principle: internationalization equals vulnerability. By constantly defining Kashmir as an internal constitutional issue, New Delhi blocks any framework that could reclassify the dispute as international. This strategy serves several purposes. It protects India from binding arbitration, external legal scrutiny, precedent setting intervention, and potential diplomatic coercion. Accepting a peace oversight body could trigger human rights inquiries, cross-border mediation demands, and renewed UN resolution. For a rising seeking a strategic autonomy, such outcomes are unacceptable. Thus, India resist is not emotional, it is structural. It is calculated, defensive of sovereignty, narrative control, media, human rights, and the global threshold. Modern conflicts no longer move on thorough battlefields, they move through cameras, social media, and humanitarian discourse. Once a conflict image transforms from security challenge to civilian suffering, the international threshold for intervention drops dramatically. Gaza crossed that threshold. Kashmir so far has not crossed it fully. Put pressure ventures are slowly evolving. International humanitarian rights advocacy, diaspora lobbying networks, digital media visibility, and geopolitical rivalry narratives. If global framing is shifting decisively, Kashmir could move from a bilateral dispute to a monitored humanitarian issue. This is precisely the scenario India seeks to prevent because once oversight enters, controls over narrative exist. The geopolitical of peace selection. The modern world does not intervene everywhere. It intervenes where interest, optics, and alliances intersect. Peace mechanisms emerge not only from suffering but from political opportunity. Some conflicts come international causes, other remains domestically contained. This is not hypocrisy, It is the logic of power. Kashmir today exists in a strategic middle zone, too sensitive for force intervention, too visible to remain ignored forever. History such zones really remains static. This either normalize internally or internationalize externally. What comes next? If global politics continues to shift towards humanitarian framing, pressures on unresolved disputes will grow. If major powers begin using human rights narrative as geopolitical tool, peace broads may become instrumental of strategic leverage. And if conflicts narrative globalize faster than the stage can control them, even sovereignty dispute may face external scrutiny. The future of Kashmir will therefore depend less on battlefield dynamics and more on narrative momentum. Because in the 21st century, conflicts are no longer decided by the force, they are decided by framing. Signature ending could be from Gaza ruins to Kashmir ridgelines. The politics of peace reveals an uncomfortable truth. International justice does not arrive where suffering exists. It arrives where pressure becomes unavoidable. Peace in the modern world is not just negotiated at table, it is negotiated in perception, power, and global influence. This is Global Affairs Tonight. Stay awake, stay tuned, stay alert. Subscribe.